Hey everybody, my name is Nick. Haven't been posting on YouTube much recently. Funnily enough, the thing that woke me from my slumber and made me decide I needed to create a video was actually a troll comment. So this guy came onto one of my YouTube shorts that I made about how AI content is trash, and he writes, "Looks like your skill level isn't high enough and you're mad if you think this basic AI can replace you. You didn't have much skill to begin, 80." I don't know what 80 means. It's a Scottish way to say the word 80. So maybe he's Scottish. Anyway, I'll respond to his specific argument a little bit later. But this comment kind of made me wonder why it was happening. I thought, why is some weird crypto cuck guy coming out here and simping for AI on this super old video? Why is he doing that right now? So I Googled what was in the news recently about AI, and I saw that some Seattle tech bro dude with a cute dog and no soul developed an app that steals the intellectual property of Studio Ghibli by creating this program that allows people to Ghiblify their photos. And lots of people liked that, and they started using this and posting photos of themselves as Studio Ghibli characters. You know, I kind of understand why they do it. For these people, it's a little bit of harmless fun. Other people, such as myself, are a little bit more upset about it because it is expressly against what the creator of Studio Ghibli, Miyazaki, wants. You know, not great to use his photos to create AI images. So some people don't care, some people think it's fun, some people are upset. Other people still, these people probably who have stock in an AI company, wrote some kind of algorithmic script to have massive comments flood all corners of the internet and try to troll people who don't want AI to take away the role of the artist in society. And I suppose this script created this comment that showed up on my video. I have a lot of very complicated feelings about this and a lot that I want to say. So I'm going to jump on ChatGPT right now and have it write me the script for my video. No, I'm not going to do that. That would be bad. Let's just get into this, but I just want to say that if this video feels a little disorganized, if it feels like my thoughts are all over the place, it's because I'm pretty passionate about this, and I think this is an important thing that people need to think about. Anyway, let's just get right into it. So, what's the big deal? So what's the big deal? What's the big deal if you use an AI image generator to create a replica of an iconic piece of art? Why is this theft? Why is it wrong? Why is it bad for society? It's not like you were gonna ever be able to hire a Studio Ghibli artist to draw a picture of you and your dog, and especially not to put on your Instagram story. So it's not like you're taking a job away from a Studio Ghibli artist by utilizing this tool. It's like this is democratizing this type of art, right? It's allowing everybody to be able to enjoy a little bit of this. Well, that might be true, but the theft isn't exactly the person who uses the program posting it. That's just supporting the theft. The theft happened when OpenAI took all of Miyazaki's work and input it into their AI algorithm program. I don't know how any of that works, but when they took it and used it to train its image generating software. That's what Studio Ghibli is suing OpenAI for. It's suing it for training its large language models on Studio Ghibli's copyrighted works. That's the theft. The theft happens before the user posts the image. The theft is the training. It's the utilizing of the intellectual property of a company that did not consent to it to create a product that it is representing as connected to a company that did not consent to have its material used. That company is then representing this product as being similar to the company that it stole from. It's capitalizing on the cultural cachet of the iconic work that it didn't pay for and didn't have consent to use. And that is the reason that people are flocking to OpenAI to create these images. It's because of the cultural cachet that Studio Ghibli has built up over years and years through very tireless and arduous work that it does in animating these films. These films take years to create, years to finish. They are the product of years of human labor. So the allowing this AI to use this to create an image is not, this product is then not because of AI that it exists, it's because of humans, and not compensating those humans, not compensating the owners of that intellectual property is pretty obviously theft. I don't think anybody could really argue with that. Put it this way, imagine that your DNA that you have was taken from you without your consent and used to create clones of a bunch of children. And then a company sold those children to other people to raise as theirs, and they took that money and they didn't give you any of it. Not that you'd want money, you probably just want them to not do that, which is exactly the position that Studio Ghibli's in. If you think about it, that's how important an artist's work is to an artist. It's a creation that an artist puts so much of their energy and their attention into. It's a part of their DNA, it's a part of their who they are. It took their lifetime to come up with the skill and the idea and the inspiration to create the work of art that they're creating. And the fact that a company can just take that and then put it out there, that's plainly wrong. It's the same as taking your DNA and creating little clone babies to sell to sad families who just want to have a kid. So personally, I sincerely hope that the Ghibli lawsuit against OpenAI sets a new precedent that stops these corporations from being able to train their large language models on the work of other people. This is something that is wrong, and it needs to stop first and foremost on the corporate level, because if you put out a product like this, it's very hard to expect that a bunch of people who love Studio Ghibli, who don't understand the nuances of intellectual property and whose art is what, are gonna be like, this is kind of not a good thing to do, I shouldn't do this. Although this video is an attempt to enlighten people on why you should not be Ghiblifying, or whatever the hell it's called, your photos. It's a bad thing to do, it's bad for society, it's bad for the world. For no other reason than AI art is against everything that Miyazaki, the creator of Studio Ghibli, stands for. And the use of his work to get more people to utilize AI is a huge violation. It's the same as a Burger King commercial using a song from a Ghibli movie or a character from a Ghibli movie without his permission. But it's actually even worse than that, because they're using 1,000 Ghibli characters, 1,000 Ghibli songs all simultaneously towards the goal of getting more people to support the same device that stole the characters in the first place. OpenAI received record numbers of people going to the site after the Ghibli creator device thing was made by this fucking douchebag guy. So if you are utilizing this image generator, you are in effect hurting the thing that you love. And one other maybe important detail to mention is that a huge theme of Miyazaki's work, if you look at a movie like Princess Mononoke, a huge theme of his work is environmentalism. And an AI image generator, when you generate one of these images, you are essentially setting fire to a tree. You are hurting the environment, which is one of the important messages that this art is supposed to be getting across to you about protecting the environment. So if you are using this, the message of Miyazaki's work has not been resonating with you in the way that it should. I don't blame you, because it's hard to know all that without thinking very deeply about it and researching it. And so it points to just how dangerous this kind of technology is, because it's so easy to just take it, click a button, create a cute little image, share it with your friends, and it's fun. It's fun to do that. I understand why people would want to, but it's not right. Even though it feels like, how could this be such a big deal? But it is. We're lowering the value of art by using this AI image generation things. And I'm sure you probably heard a lot of arty people talking about it, and you're like, yeah, whatever, who cares? This is convenient, it's the future. You're just stuck in the past, dude. Well, we have to talk about how AI is designed expressly to lower the value of art. Now, humans are always going to create art. That's what makes us human. So it's not going to replace human created art. There's no real danger of that. People are always going to want to express themselves in some artistic way. But what AI is doing is taking away the financial opportunities that artists have and giving them to a computer. It allows them to pay whatever, the big corporation, Google or whoever, a little bit of money rather than spending a lot more money on an artist. And it also then puts into the public consciousness that art is something that can be created in an instant. It's not something that one needs to study and try at. You can get an image that you want simply by typing in what it should look like. And that then becomes the art. Oh, I want this picture. Wow, look what I made. I'm an artist. Here's where we go back around to the argument that my good friend, Mr. CryptoCuck, posted on my YouTube story. Is that his username? I'm gonna look up what his username is. Never mind, I'll protect his username by blurring it out, because I don't want to expose him or have people harass him. So we'll just call him CryptoCuck. So his contention is that if artists don't want to be replaced by AI, then they only need to become better artists. If you are replaced by AI, it's because you're a bad artist. The desirable quality of AI is not in the quality of its work. AI work isn't better. It's in fact worse than work created by humans. But it's desirable because of the speed and the cost effectiveness at which it can be created. A human will never outcompete a computer, which can create 10,000 drawings in a few seconds. The labor of a human required to create just one of those images might take hours, it might take days, it might take years. Is our friend, the CryptoCuck, right? Maybe artists don't deserve to get paid for their work if they cannot draw 10,000 drawings in 1 second. That's a bar that humans can't fill, so maybe humans shouldn't be allowed to create art anymore and be paid for it because their value has thus been lowered by a superior thing, and that's just progress and technology moving the world forward. I mean, that is an argument that people have. And if you are part of the finance fetish class, then that argument might resonate with you. But here's an analogy. What is the value of a tree? A tree has a lot more tangible value than a piece of art. It takes carbon dioxide and it spits out oxygen. That's a pretty valuable thing. That's why we need trees to exist, right? So imagine if we could create a machine that does this much faster than a tree. I mean, they probably have a machine like that, I think, maybe. So if you could create this machine, would that machine be more valuable than a tree? In some sense, yes, I suppose it would, because you could create so many of these very quickly, and they would do the job of a tree probably better or more efficient than a tree does. But does that mean we should chop down every forest and replace them with these machines? Is that a good thing that we would want to do? Well, if you don't see that that's a bad idea and that there is more value in having the redwood forest exist than replacing it by a bunch of machines, even though the technical value of those things is 1-to-1, I don't know what to really tell you, because there is a value in life. There is a value in something that takes a long time to produce. There is a beauty in the unknown mystery of the world that is around us. And if we get rid of all that, then our life becomes very transactional, becomes almost perverse, and it becomes devoid of meaning. So do we want to get rid of every forest and replace the world with carbon dioxide filtration machines? No. Do we want to get rid of all art and replace it with AI generated images, even if those images look exactly the same as a Pablo Picasso painting? I don't think so. Art is a similar living organism to a tree. There is a famous story about Pablo Picasso where an admirer sees him doodling on a napkin and asks him if he could buy the sketch. Pablo Picasso then quotes him the price of like 1,000,000 francs or something. And the person who asked for it is shocked. They say, well, that's outrageous. You drew that in like 2 minutes. And Pablo replies to them, yes, but it took me my whole life to learn how to draw it. The value of art is in the entirety of the lived experience of the artists. That's what we're paying for. That's what we are enjoying. That is the thing that touches us. It is a person expressing their humanity, communicating their experience of their being, of their pain, of their love, of their understanding of the world in a way that resonates to us. The whole point of art is affirming our humanity and connecting to the humanity of the artist, of the creator. The value of art is in the communication between the audience and the creator of that art. So AI takes away one half of that communication. It makes it a one-sided input of us receiving, but there is nothing on the other end creating. AI doesn't have an idea that it wants to express. AI is simply an image generating algorithm. It has no hope, no desire to communicate anything. And so I would argue that the value is completely lost in this case. And now you might say, well, that's all fine and well if you're talking about paintings that are being hung in museums or grand movies or whatever. But if we're just making stuff to sell Coca-Cola for commercials, then why don't we just create an image commodity machine? Then we're done. It's easier, the corporations have higher market share, blah, blah, blah. We're achieving our goals better, right? Well, the point of using images, of using art to sell Coca-Cola is that we are trying to trick the audience into feeling something that makes them want to buy Coca-Cola. If that same Coca-Cola commercial is created by a human artist, that I would argue is communicating something. It's communicating that there is a person behind that work that devoted their life to art, and that person is now, in effect, being able to pay their rent. So that is something that has meaning in our society. By utilizing art in this commercial way, then we are saying, hey, we as a society have a place for art, we value art, we care about art. That's why we use art to sell our products. Art is the thing that inspires us to make us want to buy something. Now we take that away, we destroy the ability of an artist to use art to support himself, then we're saying that this part of our society is not valuable. All we are as valuable commodities as people who consume and want to buy. Now, the crypto cucks, the finance fetishists may think that that's a good thing to do. They probably don't care about any of the arguments that I'm talking about, because for them, art is not a worthwhile commodity unless you can create it in the most cost-effective manner possible. I know that the person that commented on my YouTube short would not care about my discussion about art having intrinsic value and emotion and blah, blah, blah. They are a finance fetishist. They believe only what a person is willing to pay for something gives that thing value. And so that's why my appeal about AI art has always been on my previous videos that it's crap. And that we as consumers need to recognize it as crap inherently. It is up to us to reject it. We have to decide that we don't like it, that we don't want to look at it, that we deem it unacceptable for a company to use it. Now, this probably won't happen on a large scale that will dissuade a company from using AI in its work. I mean, it's already so far gone. We have AI in Coca-Cola commercials. We have AI all over the place. If art lovers continue to support artists, real human artists, then we can at least hope to preserve a certain space for human-made art. And so, to go back to my little exchange with the AI chatbot simp bro that attacked the quality of my art in the comments, he basically says I deserve to be replaced by AI because the art I make, being this YouTube channel, is trash and lazy. And actually, you know what? I agree with him. He's right. This YouTube channel is not that hard to do. Any jerk can talk about their opinions. You can get a camera, you can film yourself, and you can say what you think. That's not the type of art, though, that's going to be replaced by AI. There are enough dumb people spouting opinions on the internet. This is kind of, at this moment, the most popular type of human-made art around. And I don't think that AI is going to be able to replace it because people want to hear what other humans think. What AI is threatening to replace is Studio Ghibli's work, the painstaking work of Miyazaki. And if Mr. Finance Fetishist, Mr. Crypto Cuck, Mr. Bro Guy wants to imply that Miyazaki, what he does, is lazy trash, well, that is absolutely insane. And if AI is going to deprive us of a future of art like the work of Miyazaki, because one, kids aren't going to learn how to draw if they can just input values into a computer to get the images they want. 2, people who want to express themselves through drawing are going to give up on trying to make that thing a career because they won't see a future in it, because there won't be any more careers in art. 3, struggling artists who have decided against the advice of their parents to become artists won't be able to devote their entire self to this because it will not be a viable career. They won't be able to make money with it. And that will be that. People in society are going to tell them what they're doing is antiquated and useless and unproductive, and computers can do it in 3 seconds. And then that's what we'll get. We'll get copies of our past work regurgitated over and over again, and it'll be mediocre, and people won't really mind. They'll get used to it. They'll think this is what images are, this is what my life will be, and it'll be a world left where the only kind of art you'll have will be me talking to a camera about my opinion, or somebody else talking to their camera about their opinion. And the landscape of art will basically become like a forest of fake trees. And I guarantee you that that will be an uncomfortable and lonely place, a forest of fake trees. And you will not be able to articulate exactly why you feel like a forest of fake trees is uncomfortable, because the language used to communicate your feelings will have been stolen from you by AI, because that language is art.